Welcome back to Making It Look Easy. We got one of the realest voices in boxing joining us today. Trainer, fighter, future big-time boxing commentator, Philly's very own Greg Hackett. Man, what's up?
What's the deal? How you feeling?
Man, I'm good, man. How about yourself?
I'm doing good, man. Just here in the house right now, chilling.
You don't train on the weekends?
Yeah, I'm gonna go in the gym after I'm done with this.
Okay, man. We're going to get into it, man. You just fought about on the Gilly and Wallow KO party.
Yeah,
I saw that. That was lit. Now you got Brian Norman, February 15th, BLK Prime. How you feeling about that?
feel good, man. It's just an opportunity to go ahead and do what I love to do. Have some fun. You know what I mean? It's on a pretty big platform. You know, not the biggest in the world, but pretty big. Something nice. You know what I mean? Something people could tune into. And, you know, I get to really show my stuff.
How they got popping, like, anyways? Because from what I remember, at first y'all was going back and forth.
Yeah. It was just from that conversation on Mill City, and that kind of just brewed into this, you know, where I got a call from BLK Prime, and they asked would I take the fight, and I'm like, yeah, why not? Yeah, at first they was kind of like handling it like they thought I would say no, and I was like, yeah. Then they was like, do you mind going to Atlanta or going to Georgia? I'm like, no, I don't mind that. So, you know, I think in like 2 days time, I got a contract in the email, looked it over, whatever, asked some questions. Wasn't too hard to deal with, you know what I mean, with the people over there, sign, and then here we go.
Yeah, man. The last fight, the person you fought, um, was that the dude that was like, "I'm gonna fuck you up, bro"? Was that him?
That was, he from my city. His name, Simon Carr, you know what I
I'm
mean? He
thinking
was
that
just,
wasn't that. You know what I'm talking about? That dude from about a couple months ago. He was like, "I'm gonna fuck you up, bro." You was like, "No, you're not. Stop."
I don't know, I can't even remember who that was,
Because you be
to
going
be
back
honest.
and forth with a lot of people, but
Yeah,
that brings me to my next question. You know, I just want to go ahead and address your boxing career,
yeah.
because I see people, they try to hang that over your head whenever it's about one thing and then it turns into another, and then it becomes about your boxing career. Why you think they do that?
I mean, it's just something to say. You know what I mean? People try to find angles to make you look bad or to make you seem like you out of your mind. You know what I mean? That's just one of their angles. They like to go at my record. But that's, you know, that's just my story. You know what I mean? Everybody got a story. Everybody got to come from somewhere. See, they obviously don't understand. And then also they just trying to get an advantage in the argument. To some people, that make them seem smart. You know what I'm saying? If they
Yeah.
say something like that. And it's usually people who don't even have a record. You know what I mean? They never even been in the ring. So, you know, I don't really worry about it too much.
I figured, man, shit. I didn't, when I discovered you, it wasn't from you being in the ring. It was definitely, due to how you break down the sport of boxing. But when it comes to boxing, the sport is really covered by us, the boxing community. It's not really covered by big mainstream media.
Right.
There are some pretty prominent, platforms out there. You got Showbiz, you got Blue Blood, you got YSM Sports. Those are the three that I
Yeah.
use. And the Puerto Rican kid, I fucks with him too. He got a good platform too. Um,
Yeah.
but when it comes to Greg Hackett, when did you realize that this was your lane?
I really ain't realized it till probably about a year ago because I was just doing what I always did, which was just talk about the game. You know what I mean? I never really thought that you could end up making money or just talking about it to the camera and then posting it on YouTube. I never understood that because when we was younger, you know, we didn't have things like that. For a long time, I didn't get what people were saying, and they like, "Gee, you need to talk about boxing." People like to hear you talk about boxing,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm like, man, people really don't care about what I'm saying. They just, you know, that's just how they feel that day. And then, you know, one of my homies, he was like, nah, man, like you could be talking about boxing in the alleyway. People gonna listen. So I'm like, all right, I'm gonna try it. You know what I mean? Then of course Mill came through sometime before that and he kind of took interest in my takes. So it kind of just went further. You know what I mean? I didn't think it would do that, but it did.
Man, you got a shout out on Showtime a couple years back from
Yeah.
who?
From who?
From what's his name? Bald head brother, the one that be introducing the
Oh yeah, Brian
yeah,
Custer.
Brian Cluster. Yeah,
Custer,
yeah.
yep.
How you feel about that? Getting that
I
type
mean, that was
of platform.
it was unexpected, you know what I mean? And I ain't see it coming. And it was something, I don't know, it just felt cool. It was cool. You know what I mean? I'm kind of like this. Like, if you in the business of anything, you know what I mean, your name is gonna come up. So to me, it don't be really a big deal. But I guess when you look back at it, it's like, nah, that's, that was something special. You know what I mean? So it felt good.
Yeah, nah, I figured shit. That was on big, you know what I'm saying, a big platform, and like for me, I'm like, dang, like, bro really is getting around because for somebody who, because I've been in the game like 6 years, you know, and over the past 6 years, at first I was listening to Fanon, but then I stopped listening to him because I realized like the angles he was coming from. I'm like, that ain't really what I'm trying to get into. But then when I started like locking in on like Showbiz and Blue Blood, like I started to like learn a lot more about the sport. But then whenever I start hearing more about you and getting your take on it, I'm like, now this right here is what I'm looking for. And the sport don't got that.
Right.
The sport don't got that at all. So, you know, you really a pillar to the community of boxing, man. So, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, we really, you know, appreciate you being on. I got a proposal for Turkey Al-Sheikh.
Mm.
He put you on the panel as a boxing commentator for the big time fight. And
Crazy.
let Max Kellerman do it, you know, and
Yeah.
I think that would turn up the sport and keep people interested in the sport. What do you think about that?
I mean, I think it'll be a different feel. I think it'll be something outside of what they usually do. I feel like that'd be perfect. You know what I mean? You get somebody on there who really understand what's happening in the ring and really understand the sport and can just break it down bit by bit. I would be able to do that. So that wouldn't be a bad idea.
I think it's possible
For sure.
because he's doing a lot of unorthodox things in the sport already,
Yeah, you're right.
you know? So that's why I'm like, shit, we can pitch this proposal to him, have Greg Hackett sitting on the panel. I think that would turn the sport up because I talked to Kadeem Hunter.
Yeah.
Yeah. We spoke about you, and he even mentioned, he said, yeah, man, Greg, he keep the sport interesting. And
Yeah.
I say, yeah, for somebody who was once a casual like myself, like I feel like now, like I know the game because I've watched so much boxing. Like I've watched so many fights. And then on top of that, I listen to people break down the fights. Like I like you, I like Showbiz perspective on things, on how he break things down. The unbiased approach when it comes to boxing. But when it comes to like instigators,
Yeah.
Philly's very own also, Golden Boy, B-Hop,
Okay.
B-Hop, B-Hop,
Yeah.
B-Hop definitely keep the sport interesting, yo. He definitely keep the sport interesting. As far as Philly, there's gonna be a pretty broad question, but no one's really been able to answer it. Who's the best fighter to ever come out of Philly? From
I
your
mean, it's hard to say. People don't understand Philly. They think we be trying to like hype the situation up. There's been so many guys that come out of Philadelphia. You know what I mean? It's kind of hard to say. And because of the weight classes and, things like that. And then the things, see, what people don't understand is the things we seen in the gym. You know what I mean? It might be a guy who might be the guy, but then he getting punched on by a guy you never heard of. You know what I'm saying? So that's why it's tough to say. I mean, of course, Joe Frazier, of course, Bernard Hopkins, of course, Joe and Jeff Chandler, of course, Matthew Sa Muhammad. You got guys, so many guys. Benny Briscoe, Georgie Benton. You got so many guys you can name, but it's tough to say who is the best.
Philly's known for boxing. When I first got involved in the sport and I first started like taking it seriously, it was always Philly, Philly, Philly. I got a homie from Jersey, his name and all he do is big up Philly when it comes to boxing. So like,
I mean, that's the way of life here. I mean, boxing, fighting.
well, my favorite fighter out of Philly right now is Boots.
For sure.
That's like when I started seeing his highlights on YouTube and shit, I was like, God damn. and then come to realize, like, it's not like he was really fighting bums, you know what I'm saying? He was actually fighting his level of competition, in my opinion, you know, because he was just coming up just as well. Who do you think will give him his toughest fight? Not mentioning Crawford, not mentioning Spence. Who you think will give him his toughest fight?
I'm gonna be honest. I think with the height, Sebastian Fundora, just because he's tall as shit. He's six. He like 6'6", 6'7". You know what I'm saying? So to be that big at 154 pounds, I think he give anybody the toughest fight right now.
Is he really swatting like that though?
Is he what?
Is he really like swatting like that when on his punches?
He one of the champions. He punching.
I watched his fights, but I'm just like, I don't see the power that people really be talking about. I know it's hype.
Well, it ain't. Well, you gotta think about punching like this. This is how you gotta think about punching, right? It don't matter how hard I hit, you still ain't about to let me hit you in your face.
Right.
So if after accumulation of punches, you gonna be wore down. No matter how hard the shot is, you gonna be wore down. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
And a man being that tall, it's gonna be hard to get to him, and it's gonna be hard to get away from him. So that's why I say that'll probably be one of his toughest fights.
Interesting. We're gonna definitely have to revisit that when that time comes, because I definitely see it coming. You think Boots can be the greatest of all time? One of the greatest of all time?
I think he could be one of, yeah, because, you know what I mean, he do everything it takes to be that. It's not just the talent. When I'm talking about Boots, I'm not talking about the talent. I'm talking about the work that he put in, and I'm talking about how he really loved fighting. And you gotta really love this shit, and you gotta really put the work in, and everybody ain't willing to do it. You know what I mean, especially not on that level. So from what I've seen so far, if he keep it up, yeah, he could be. But I can't say the greatest because that's a tough statement.
Yeah,
You know what
that's
I
how I
mean?
said one of the
Yeah.
greatest. Yeah,
Yeah, so
that's a
one
real
of them for
statement.
sure. Yeah, I believe that.
I ain't like that criticism he got back. Not even on, you know, trying to be biased or anything like that, but the criticism with Virgil.
Yeah.
The reason why I ain't like that is because, man, we've been looking for that fight for a long time, and you know, now that the opportunity came about, now it's Boots ducked him. But it's like, no, one thing I've been noticing about the sport, the accountability. For instance, like Devin Haney, Ryan Garcia. Devin Haney get all this pushback, all this slack, but nobody holding Ryan accountable for his part. He played coming in 3 pounds overweight. He popped hot, and then on top of that, the fact that he quit.
Right.
And Devin Haney, he didn't. I mean, he stuck it out all 12 rounds. So like, one thing I'm starting to realize, and honestly, I don't know where it's coming from, but the accountability that they hold on certain fighters, you know what I'm saying? And it's like,
Right.
it makes it seem like we biased because, you know, for me personally, I am a fan of Haney. I am a fan of Boots, but it's like, you're not about to tell me he done ducked this one opportunity whenever over the past 4-5 years, Virgil, he not answering the call, you know, or making excuses. So what you think about that?
I mean, that come with being great. That's the price you pay. Everybody gonna have something to say. Everybody going, they gonna try again, they try to make you look less than. You know what I mean? Nobody wants to be wrong when they picking one guy to be the best and then there's another guy that come out of the woodworks. You know what I'm saying? It's to be expected, to be honest. It would make me mad at first hearing how people would try to bash you. But then when I think about it, that's what comes with it. You know what I mean? If you're gonna be doing something like this, that's what comes with it. You know what I mean? That's what comes with the sport. That's what comes with being great. They said things about Michael Jackson. They said things about Michael Jordan. They said things about Mike Tyson. That's how it go.
Yeah. In the sense, that's why I'm saying I'm new to it. As far as like, I'm just hearing it and I'm looking at it from a fan perspective every time. Cause I'm not,
Right.
I'm not training. I don't see these dudes every day. And so like, that's how I'm gonna look at it every time. But when it comes to, like Boot, what do you think he will, like, what you think his next biggest fight should be?
I mean, I think he should just get one of the titles. You know what I mean? Get a shot at one of the other titles. Unification bout. That'd be great for boxing, and that'd be great for Boots. Yeah, I think that's what he want, and I believe that's what's next. Hopefully, it is Stanionis.
Yeah. Nah, that right there would definitely leave a statement for sure. I mean, I think he's gonna crush him, but that's still a good name to have on the resume because
Sure.
Stanionis and Virgil been supposed to have been fought.
Right. Exactly.
So that right there will kind of bring that Virgil conversation back around. I hope it happens for sure. But man, I like to talk to prospects because most prospects don't really get a voice. And so with this I want to get prospects and trainers more of a voice to be able to express themselves as well. And when it comes to the prospects, we got Abdullah Mason, we got Joseph Brown, Kadeem Hunter, Carmel Moulton. What do you think about the two cousins out of San Diego, Johnny Mansour and Juju?
Oh, I did. Oh, who you talking about?
Juju,
Fighters?
the fighters.
Yeah, I don't know them.
You ain't seen them?
No, I ain't seen them yet.
Yo, they cold. Especially
What weight classes?
I'm gonna take I think. Let me see, bro. Johnny, he already made his debut bout, but Juju, he the #1 amateur in the nation. Let me see what weight class. He just signed with Top Rank like this week.
Oh, all right, that's what's up.
Yeah. I think they Chaldean. Yeah. Let me see what weight class, pound for pound. He won the Pan Am. And then his cousin, he was #1 also. They both signed with Top Rank.
Okay.
Yeah. But I thought you probably knew who they were. Who you think?
Yeah, I never heard.
Yeah, you gonna hear about him soon for sure. Especially Johnny, because he already got some fights up under his belt. Featherweight, Juju.
Okay.
Juju, he featherweight. Yeah,
Okay, 126.
yeah. He just signed with
You talking about Ballo? Julius Ballo?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I know who he is. Yeah. Okay. He a hell of a fighter, yeah, for sure.
What you think his potential could be? Because he already been flashy. Like
Yeah, but you could tell he come from a good foundation. He got real boxing skills. He got good fundamentals. He can adjust. He can have fun in the ring. He can, he can get real nasty when the time comes. I like that kid. He can fight. He one of my favorite guys coming out of the amateurs for sure.
Word. Mine
Yeah.
too. That's why
Yeah, he can fight.
he nice. He
Yeah.
nice. I think he gonna spice it up. I want to see him on that pro level though. I think he gonna be the type to fill up an arena.
Yeah, that's the thing with the amateurs. We gotta call a spade a spade. If a kid can fight, he can fight. But the pro game is different. You know what I mean? And when they learn that, that's when they become better fighters. So I like him a lot, and he is a blue chip prospect. But we gotta see what he can do in the pros.
Right. But his cousin Johnny Mansour, you still ain't seen him yet.
I think I seen him once. I think he deaf or something like that. I seen him.
You say deaf?
Yeah, I think they said he was deaf because I see him fight one night and they said that he was cousins to Julius Ballo. So I don't remember, but he tough too. I see him fight. He tough.
Yeah, I ain't heard about him being deaf, but
Yeah, I don't know if that's the same kid, but it is a kid who just turned pro not too long ago, and they said that he's deaf.
When it comes to the prospects, who you think the best one? Despite weight class, like
I mean, right now I feel like the world's best prospect right now is probably it's two of them that I like. It's Abdullah Mason, and the other kid is a heavyweight, the 19-year-old heavyweight from the UK. His name is I forgot his name, man. But big kid, strong kid, southpaw, fast, good power. I like this kid, but he's from the UK.
He already pro.
Those my favorite two. Yeah, he pro. He like 10-0 with like 8 knockouts.
See, now I'm gonna have to go do my homework on him. I do like Abdullah Mason though. I like him a lot. I want to see him in Schofield get busy though. because
Yeah, that'd be a great fight.
they've been doing a lot of going back and forth. Um,
Sure.
how you see Schofield and Shakur going?
Schofield Shakur is I feel like is going to be a competitive fight. A lot of people think this is going to be a landslide because of Shakur's skill level, which it could possibly be. I'm not doubting that. Shakur definitely earned that respect. My thing is Schofield is one of them kids like you could tell he won't quit. You know what I mean? He a tough kid. And he's naturally a 135 pounder. He's more naturally a 135 pounder. He turned pro at 135. Shakur coming up from 126, stopping at 30, then going to 35, means to me that he kind of got to build his strength, you know what I mean, to that weight class. I'm not saying he's not strong enough to keep Schofield off him or nothing like that, but I just think that's what makes it an interesting fight, is that Schofield is more naturally the bigger man, and, that's going to be his gift in the ring. He's going to have to be more aggressive and really make it a dog fight. I look forward to that being a great fight, honestly.
Have you been ringside before?
Ringside? What you mean?
Like at the big fights?
Yeah, I've been in the corners.
You think that's gonna play a factor?
What you mean?
With Schofield?
What you mean? The atmosphere?
The atmosphere. You think they're gonna play?
I think that plays a factor with all fighters. I mean, some guys don't pay attention to it, and then some guys, they feed off of it. They get maybe sometimes too hyped up. But you know what I mean? I think he's been in enough fights and been in front of enough crowds where I don't think it's gonna bother him. I think it's gonna really charge him up.
You talking about Schofield, right?
Yeah.
I hope so, man. Cause I'm gonna pay for that fight.
It's a good fight.
I'm paying for that whole card.
Yeah.
I like what Turkey doing for sure. He putting on big fights, and that's how it should be though. Like
Yeah.
big
Trying to
card,
make it happen.
like that's the type of shit people gonna pay for. You know what I'm saying? Like when you get a bunch of great fighters in one night. And
Yeah.
I'm actually happy for Schofield. I think with him, what makes him interesting is his pops.
Yeah.
His pops is what makes him as a fighter interesting. If it wasn't for his pops, he would just be, probably like a regular 135er for me personally. But you know what I'm saying? Like I can't with that fight. Shakur versus Keyshawn. They say they not gonna fight, but if
Yeah.
fans demand it, then they gonna have to get in the ring at some point.
Yeah.
How you see that going?
If they was, I don't. I mean, from the way they talk about each other, I could tell it's a great respect there. Will it ever happen? I don't know, but if it was to happen, really, really technical because they know each other. They know each other's strengths and weaknesses. So when it's like that, both guys are going to be a little bit hesitant. You know what I mean? Because they don't want to make a mistake. Because the other one can make you pay for it. So I honestly think that would be a boring fight. But then at the same time, I think it'll be a great fight. So I don't know. You would have to. That's one of them things you would just have to see. You would have to see when they get in there.
Man, my only thing with Keyshawn is that he mean. I think he might be.
Yeah, he is.
He might be more meaner than Shakur. Will he turn it on that night for him out of respect? I don't know, but if he do, I can see it being a long night. But at the same time, with Shakur, now let's say it happens later on down the line, like we predicted to be. At that point, I see Shakur being more on the level of Floyd when he was money man, picking his shots and then doing all the other little technical stuff to get him in the later rounds. Because they say Shakur don't punch hard, but like you was mentioning earlier about punching, I was watching a clip of him the other day, and all his punches are sharp and accurate. And I'm like, shit, that right there will break down anybody. So yeah, I would love to see that fight. Will it ever happen? I don't know. We're gonna speak it into existence. Haney and Garcia too.
Yeah.
How you see that shit playing out?
man, that's one of those ones. Like that's a fight. Like I think I said the other night, right? I think if they was to fight, even though that first fight was a great fight, I think the second fight will be better.
Yeah.
The reason I think it'll be better is because with Ryan getting caught up with the Osirine, he knows it's gonna be a lot of eyes on him. So he gonna have to do it naturally. You know what I'm saying? He gonna have to really get ready. Dev, he want that get back. You know what I mean? But he know he gotta be smart about it. They both got something to prove because Ryan gotta prove I can do this again without the Osirine. Dev's gotta say Dev gonna be going in there with the mindset like, you know what? He did what he did the first fight, but I'm gonna show you that I'm the better fighter. With that pressure being on both sides, I think that fight would be crazy. Crazy. I can't call the outcome because they've been trying to break this tie since the amateurs.
Yeah.
And even though they just fought in the pros, they still didn't break the tie because of what happened after the fight. So they really got a thing, man.
Yeah,
So that'd be a great
he got that win taken away from him, so he gotta
yeah.
fight him again. You know what I'm saying? In the eyes of many. But like I said, I mean, they ain't been holding Ryan accountable for shit. You know, that's a whole other story. I think that when it comes to Ryan and Haney was making some mistakes in that fight, Ostarine or not. He was
Yeah,
making
absolutely.
mistakes. Now, him correcting those mistakes, definitely that alone will make it a completely different fight. Now, when it comes to Ryan, he get him with that left hook. I think, that's devastating for anybody.
Mm.
Ryan hasn't really shown any other tools in his arsenal when it comes to boxing. But, I mean, he made it this far, But like you said, I think it would definitely be a lit-ass fight if Haney was to go in and, make sure he's disciplined when it comes to what he's supposed to do. I like that fight a lot. That's one of them fights I fly in for.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
Last one. This a fantasy fight though.
Yeah.
Money Mayweather versus Shakur Stevenson.
I'm gonna be honest. The speed Floyd has would give Shakur some trouble, but Shakur's style would give Floyd some trouble because Shakur would slow the pace up of the fight, and Mayweather wasn't one of the best fighters yet, but he had his trouble with southpaws. You know what I'm saying? But Shakur not the southpaw that's just gonna go after you. He gonna make you think. So that would be a huge chess match, man. I see that fight being a huge chess match. I see both guys taking their time. I see Mayweather trying to use his legs, but at the same time, he would have to push the issue with a guy like Shakur. Shakur not gonna walk to you. You know what I'm saying? You gonna have to step to him, and you gonna have to do it with some speed. So I mean, I don't know. That's a great fight, man. That's a great fight. I would have loved to see something like that.
Yeah.
Because it was talented fighters around when Floyd was fighting, but not anybody. I feel like with that kind of composure and skill set. You know what I'm saying? It was dogs around. Of course, no disrespect to Zab Judah, no disrespect to Chop Chop Corley and things like that. But I feel like Shakur is a lot sharper than those guys.
Yo, he's sharp,
Yep.
motherfucker, yo.
Yeah, that would have been interesting to see Mayweather up against. You know what I mean? I never seen Mayweather up against somebody that sharp in a fight.
I seen Shakur spar out in Vegas at the Top Rank gym. That was my first time ever seeing him in person. Actually, so I'm from Houston. So
Right. Okay.
gym that he at, I be going to the gym sometime. When I'm in the
Okay.
city, I'm always on the go. But when every time I go to the gym, he not there, because I go at a certain time and I think he be in there like in the mornings and like later on. But my
Yeah.
first time seeing him was in Vegas sparring the same night Benavidez and Plant fought, because I went to that fight. And
Right. Okay.
seeing the accuracy of his punches and seeing him in person right there ringside is way different than seeing that shit on TV, yo.
Hell yeah.
Way different. That's why I want to see Boots fight in person, because I want to see how that shit really be. Because, you know, when it these fighters like Boots and, you know, Shakur, and I even say Haney, like, they're really good at, you know what I'm saying, placing their punches.
Right.
What
Right.
you think about like full breakdown Javante and Shakur?
Again, that's gonna be one of them matches because we ain't never seen Tank in there with a guy that's sharp. You know what I mean? But we never seen Shakur in there with a guy that vicious. You know what I'm saying? Tank is top tier when it comes to being vicious, and being, you know, dangerous. I think early on Shakur give Tank a lot of trouble. You know what I mean? But as the fight settled down, I think Tank start finding his way in. But is he gonna be able to land that clean shot? You know what I'm saying? Because Shakur, the reason Shakur is who he is, because he's not gonna let you do what you want to do. That's his whole game. I mean, he take your game away from you. So is he gonna sit there and let Tank load up a shot and hit him in his head? I don't think so. I mean, that's gonna be tough for Tank to pull off. Tank gonna have to be real crafty and really quick to be able to get the shot off that he want. It's gonna be tough. But Shakur is gonna have to be mentally tough because Tank can punch and he can fight. You know what I mean? He is skillful. So that's just something we gotta see.
But what about
Something we gotta see.
what if he going to the body?
Yeah, but but that's what I'm saying. These punches have to land. I could go where I want to go. They gotta land. You know what I'm saying? Just going to the body that don't mean nothing if it ain't landing. I need these punches to land. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that he won't hit Shakur, but I'm just saying people gotta understand this. Top tier guys are top tier for a reason. They not that easy to knock out. You know what I'm saying? A guy who's really on top of his game is not gonna be that easy to knock out. So Shakur not gonna fall like everybody else fall. Because if you look at the Frank Martin fight, Frank Martin can fight, right? But Frank Martin was definitely nervous in that fight, the entire fight.
Yeah,
And he wore himself out.
yeah.
Shakur is not gonna do that. Shakur gonna be in supreme shape, and he gonna know how to breathe in there. He gonna know how to relax in there. He gonna know when to relax. He gonna know when to breathe. He gonna know when to shoot. It's things that he know how to do that some fighters don't know how to do or don't reach that level of doing, and that's why they are who they are. I'm not saying Shakur beat Tank. I'm just saying these things that we know Tank can do, he's gonna have to pull it off against a guy that's based his style off of not allowing you to do what you want to do.
I agree. That's why that's that's gonna be one of them fights where everybody gonna fly in to see,
Mm-hmm.
or at least be in the atmosphere.
Sure,
If
you gotta be there.
that mug at the MGM Grand, you ain't even gotta get into the fight. You could just be in the building and it's gonna be lit. So I'm already knowing.
Yes, sir.
Man, yo, so where can we find you at? What can we support you with, bro?
On Instagram, Greg Hackett 86. On YouTube, GHB TV. Facebook, Greg Hackett. TikTok, Greg Hackett 86. And on Twitter, Greg Hackett 215.
Man, what the sparring like out there in the gym? In the gym you at, man? I might want to pull up, get some friendly sparring in.
I mean, I don't know how friendly it'll be, but you can get some work.
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
For sure.
Nah, man, I be getting busy too, bro. I just out here in Austin, bro. They like in Houston. You
Yeah.
can step in the gym if you cool. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, not going up in there with your ego. You know, you'll be straight. You know what I'm saying? They'll give you some work. But out here in Austin, hell nah, they want you to have all these forms, doctors signing off on shit. They
Oh, yeah.
whole bunch of shit. You know what I'm saying? Like they don't really, you know, where I'm at right now is not really known for boxing. So I just been having the shadow box, you know what I'm saying, punch on the bag, and you know what I'm saying, stay sharp in that manner. But I'm definitely trying to, you know, pull up the Philly and check out the gym.
For sure. Anytime, man.
What's the name of your gym?
365 Fitness and Boxing. Yeah.
Okay, y'all go check that out. Hey, if you haven't already, please like and subscribe. Share this if you found this interesting. Go follow Greg Hackett. You can find him on YSM Sports every day. He always got something interesting to say. And again, bro, thank you for joining us. We definitely gonna have to run this back at a later time.
For sure.
When the sport get more popping, you know what I'm saying? Later on this year, we definitely gonna have to run it back.
For sure. I appreciate you.
All right, y'all. See y'all on the next one.